Welcome to the Flourish with Neural Retraining podcast. I'm your host, Madeline Lowry, founder of Twin Cities Neural Retraining and a certified MAP method practitioner specializing in anxiety, sensitivities, and chronic health conditions. Join me for episode 65, where we talk with Sofie Hon, a top MAP method coach in Singapore and an instructor for the MAP Coaching Institute. Hear about her work with the MAP method and how she aspires to create a ripple effect by training leaders who then improve the lives of those around them, and how her work as a MAP trainer supports students who seek to certify in the MAP method. As always, we must disclaim that the information we share in the podcast is for educational purposes only. As MAP method practitioners, we do not diagnose or treat disease. Instead, we work with the person and the personality to optimize health. Now, let's hear from Sofie. So welcome, Sofie. I'm so excited to have you join me on my show today. Sofie is a MAP practitioner and an instructor for the MAP Coaching Institute, and I look forward to having this conversation with you and hearing about your experiences with MAP and what led you down this path.
Thank you so much, Madeline, for having me.
Yeah. So let's start with the beginning. How did you hear about this really unknown technique called the MAP method? How did you first hear about that?
So I'm actually an engineer by training, and I work in the corporate, and I participated in a mastermind group because I wanted to help my business and what was happening at work. And then there was this mental age coach that was doing a lot of mind techniques with us. And I was so blown away by how my mindset was shifting and how other people were, doing well in their business strategies. So yeah, that mental aid coach was Colette Stryker, who is the founder of the MAP Coaching Institute. And yeah, that's how I heard about MAP.
Wow. So had she come to Singapore?
It was an online offer, so an online gathering of mastermind group. And it's different people in the business area that came together to learn more about how they can improve their business strategies and just put their messaging out there.
Wow. Okay. So you met Colette Stryker, and what was it about that led you down the path of deciding to train in the MAP method?
Yeah. So I was very surprised that I could overcome certain resistances about how I did the marketing strategies within my company. And there was a lot of limiting beliefs, but I, after going through the service that she offered, that she was guiding all the business people there, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I was very impressed, not just with my own results, but other people's results. And it was interesting that this method was based on very much on neuroscience and the techniques that went through. So that was another thing that resonated with me being an engineer. I needed to know what's the science behind things that work, right? So yeah, and that really resonated with me. And then when Colette announced that she was going to offer an online training for the first time, I jumped on it because I'm like, wow, I want to learn this. And she's based in the US. She was based in the US then. And she was always just offering it like a physical class. But during that time, Zoom wasn't even popular. Now it is. And so I was like, oh, wow, I need to learn this and I want to learn this. And I just wanted to learn the secrets to neuroplasticity and how I could, use that with, how my brain would respond to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how long was that training? Do you remember?
It was 6 months. It was a
Yeah.
6 months course, a program that was online. I actually didn't know I was putting myself into until I got into it. I'm like, oh my God, this is like a whole entire coaching program. So I thought it was just like learning about techniques, but what I experienced was just 10%. And as I went through the whole program, it was so transformational. And I learned so much. And I started to practice that, because it's part of the certification program. You have to practice with other people. And I offered that to people around me, friends around me, and they saw the transformation, the changes, they were blown away, and they started referring more people to me. And so that really just started my entire journey of, becoming a coach.
Yeah. Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about your practice these days? I mean, what is it that you focus on? And, how does your background fit into, your practice, the way that you practice and what you focus on?
Yeah. So my vision is really to create a ripple effect to help others. And so I really focus on a lot of mind mastery and just empowering leaders to become better coaches. And when I say leaders, I'm looking at 3 different aspects of leaders that I work with. So the first one would be in a corporate and business setting. For example, a CEO, a manager, business owner, they manage many people in their team. And so when they can lead their team well, they can improve the morale of their team and therefore the performance of their team. But what's also very important is that in turn, the team members feel good and then they bring this positivity back home. And that trickles down to their families, the children, the kids, and everyone's happy. So that's the first group of leaders. The second group of leaders I see are really coaches and therapists. So they are the guide for others in experiencing transformation, overcoming any difficulties in their life. So when we train these professionals to become good coaches, they can really make a difference in other people's life. And so that contributes to that ripple effect that I want to create. And the third one is parents. I see parents as leaders as well. They are the most important coach for their own children. Like they're always teaching them, guiding them. So if parents can learn the skill to coach their kids and nurture happy, grounded children, the kids can in turn be happier, better people, maybe our future leaders that make our world a better place. So that's my main focus, is in helping people become better leaders by empowering their own mindsets.
And so what kinds of problems, do you, those are 3 very different groups, right? With different kinds of, I don't know, daily concerns. What are some of the typical things you see in your practice that you help your clients with?
Mm-hmm. I think the main thing is that the individuals are navigating something new in their life. So they want to transit towards maybe a new level in their career or their working life, and they want to be able to do this with ease, with clarity. And they understand the power of the mind, and so they really want to sort of just polish their own mindset and mental resilience to get through this transition. And also, they are most of the time leaders themselves. So they want to be more confident in their decision making and be able to feel good about the decisions they make for themselves and for their team members. And so what I do is I work with them to handle any blocks or resistance in their thinking so that we can bring out the best potential for them.
And what would be some examples of these kinds of blocks?
So there's a lot of limiting beliefs. So for example, people who are who are working professionals or entrepreneurs, business owners, and they want to start a new business or go on a different career path. And what's really stopping them could be things like a fear of failure. And a lot of them may be stressed and pressured by their their actually main responsibilities, like they may be having a family, and if they were to switch roles, they were to change careers, that there's a fear that, okay, how am I going to provide for my family? What if this fails? And what if things don't work out? So that really stops them from doing it. And a lot of stress keeps them on a certain path, like maybe staying in a job because you have that responsibility to provide for your family, but you're feeling horrible there and you're not doing well. So I have another example of a client who came to me at the start of a session, and he said, I really have to work with you. I cannot wait any longer because I don't know if I'll go past the next month. So he was highly stressed, actually maybe very pressured at work, very depressed. So he wasn't happy at work at all. But he was stuck in there because he had bills to pay. And so we worked through what was causing the issues at work. Where was he feeling hopeless and helpless in the work setting? And as we worked through that, we were able to bring out his own strengths, to notice what is his mindset that's making him think that he was not good enough at work. And it turned out that after 2 weeks, he actually won an award for a project that he was working on at work. So he managed to overcome that mindset, that fear or that doubt about himself, about his own potential. And I think 8 months down the road, he's been promoted to be a senior guy at work. And he also started a new business alongside, like sort of, to support his family. And instead of feeling very like a victim when he first came, I think he's grown to become someone who would help others. So he actually started to contribute in the local community and in charitable works. So it's a very encouraging story from someone who's feeling, I can't do it anymore. I don't know if I'm going to live anymore. To moving in a space where they're feeling more empowered and being able to lead projects and in turn help others. So that really goes in line with that ripple effect I want to create.
Yeah. So it sounds like there you had a client that found more satisfaction in his job than maybe he realized he was getting,
Mm-hmm. Yes. And sometimes you're just stressed and pressured because you are too focused on what you're not good at. And that really stops you from looking at, oh, I'm also good at this, and I can look at something else in another way, in another direction.
Yeah. It strikes me that we work with a lot of the same blocks, but for different kinds of clients. You talk about these blocks that people have in their careers or taking their, the idea of, what they want to succeed or accomplish at forward. And I see a lot of the same blocks in people that I work with that have health crises, right? They have chronic health conditions, and they also have a fear of failure, right? A fear of never getting better.
Yeah.
They have this pressure to provide, right? I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a worker. I can't be this sick, right? I have to keep doing all this because my family will fall apart without that. Or they feel hopeless and helpless. They feel like they aren't good enough, right? Why can't I heal? I hear stories of people healing all around me, but it's not me. It's never me. They have a lot of doubts about themselves and whether they're really worthy or deserving or capable or able to heal. And there's also the victim mentality, like you talked about, right? Like, I'm a victim to this disease, this condition, this symptom, right? It's like I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and so it, I feel like that there's some parallels here, and the kind of blocks that probably most MAP practitioners see in one form or another around whatever niche they've decided to work in, if it's relationships or if it's career or if it's health, parenting or something else.
Yeah, truly, yes, that's right.
Yeah. And so tell us a little bit about the work that you do for the Institute.
Yeah. So again, it's really about my passion to to build good leaders. And I think it's that opportunity to help certification students is something that I'm very passionate about. Because to me, they're also an important stakeholder in that ripple effect I want to create there. So in terms of the certification side of the institute, I take on several different roles. The first one is as a trainer. So I am teaching live classes for the MAP in the MAP certification program, and sort of just teaching therapists or coaches who want to learn the MAP method and be able to use that as a tool to help to serve their clients. So I'm currently teaching my 9th class and totally enjoying it. Yeah, and I also do supervising and practice sessions for students, and also as a coach to offer support sessions for students.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I'm currently very excited about is a post-certification support that I've set up, which is called the MAP Business Program.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a program really to support aspiring coaches who want to start or grow their coaching business. Because I think there are a lot of brilliant coaches out there, but we also have our, blocks, resistances. And so I was observing that some of the coaches don't get started on a business journey, a coaching business journey, where they can offer their services to others, or they try and they don't see results quick enough, and then they quit within a year, kind of thing, which is a shame because they're really brilliant coaches, really good. And I know so many people would benefit from their service, right? So I wanted to support more the students who really want to offer their service, but maybe they're a little bit unsure or how to start, or maybe they have a business but they want to have it in a more sustainable way instead of following certain conventional methods that may feel very stressful for them because maybe it doesn't really align with their own meaning of success, because we all have our own meaning of success. There's not really one path to how a coaching business should be, because all of us are unique. We serve different niche. So the business program supports them in finding their own true path in building up a business, how they would like it to be, how it aligns to their passion, and then supporting them in working through any resistances they might have in their mindset. So it has been a very exciting journey just offering this.
Yeah, well, that's a lot. That's a lot. That is a lot of hats to wear, and that's a lot of things to do for the MAP Coaching Institute, in addition to your own private practice.
Yeah, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this role, and I think everything comes together.
Yeah, and so no, I like what you said about this post-certification business program. That wasn't there when I graduated. It's a fairly new offering, I guess, maybe in the last year. Yeah.
Yes.
So did you just finish your first group with your first group?
Yes. So we have just completed the first run for the first group. I think we concluded in April, somewhere in April. And we're going to start a new group again at the end of May. So we're launching it this week, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, good timing.
Yeah, that's great. And so are you doing MAP sessions for the group as part of the class? Like group sessions? Oh,
that's right. So we do have a group MAP session. So we focus on a business topic each week. We have some time to work through how we would apply that in our own business, what actions we want to take. So I know sometimes, as coaches, we focus so much on delivering our service that we don't set aside some time to think about how we want to put our messaging out there, or how we want to work through our business. So the admin stuff is always the last thing because we're so focused on delivery. So this is a good point for them to just come in a nice space to work on, how do I want to put my messaging out there? How else can I provide more value for my clients, for example, and just reflect on some of the business practices. And then after that, we do a group MAP session on anything that might be stopping them from achieving this goal.
Oh, yeah. So, what is it about the MAP method that keeps you interested, right? Obviously, you're very highly educated. You had a career before you trained in this. You kind of changed your whole career direction, right? And now, everything that you do kind of is around the MAP method. What is it that keeps you excited about this method? What is it that is, keeps your interest?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I just had one of these experiences today when I received an audio message from one of the clients sharing about her some success or transformation that she experienced after our session. And I get a lot of these messages from my clients, and I think that really nourishes and energizes me. It makes me very excited that there is hope for people. There's hope for people who want to make a change in their lives, who want to be able to be in a better space to help others. And that's why that goes back again to that ripple effect I want to create, is to help others. And just seeing how students are learning the MAP method at the institute, where they start off maybe being very unsure, very shaky, and by the time they graduate, they are like so confident and just going out there and sharing all their success stories and how they help others. That puts a smile on my face, because they've helped others. I've helped them to help others. And the same with these leaders at the corporates that I work with, that feeling very down, feeling like they're lost. So one of my corporate clients, who was a CEO, the first session that we did, she was just crying through the whole session, wondering if she should just close down her business. Things were looking bad. And by the third session, actually, she said, "Oh, I have a big contract, and now, I'm going to focus on my business. I have the energy," and her business just expanded ever since our coaching session. So it's seeing all these things that people get, so much expansion, joy, and what they want to create, and they go ahead and help other people. Because for the CEO, the reason why she didn't want to close down her company was because she had a huge team, and if she did that, that would affect the rice bowl of the people in her company, the people that have been working for her. But now they're all in this business and then expanding, and she feels good because she's helped them. And so again, it's helping someone else to help someone else. So that really motivates me. I wake up in the morning, I'm like excited. Oh, I'm gonna meet this person today, and we're going to be working through something today. And yeah, something good is gonna come out of that.
Yeah, I agree. It's those moments, right? It's, getting the feedback from people who say, this thing that we worked on, it's changed my life. In my case, it's often like it's changed my health, right?
Yes.
We did that session and my skin, eruptions cleared up, and something like that. It's just so amazing. Or like, I worked with a woman who had a breast cancer diagnosis. It was a pretty new breast cancer diagnosis, and she's a mother of 2 young children, and she was very scared and upset, and also cried a lot through our session. And it was just amazing to watch her work through, all the incidents, all the events, I guess I should say, of that felt traumatic to her around, receiving this breast cancer diagnosis. And you would think like, well, how, of course she's going to be upset and crying and feel powerless and, just sort of like be angry about, what it is she's facing. She could lose her life. Her children might grow up without a mother. Like, of course she's going to be incredibly, intensely upset. But through the course of one session, she was able to achieve so much more acceptance and peace about the process. And, just being able to work through that, it's not changing her situation, right? She is still a woman with a breast cancer diagnosis, right? But she found that all the big fear thoughts and things, she could look at them with more dispassionately afterwards. They didn't have a hold on her the way they used to. And I'm sure you see just parallel situations like that, right? In your own work, it's just the subject is different, but in a way, you're watching this person in front of you become more freed, from all of these things that are keeping them in this fearful, victimized, tragic place. And suddenly, they didn't expect this, at the end of an hour or an hour and a half, their mindset is different. All of a sudden, whatever it is that's on their plate, whatever issues or problems they have, feel different to them. And, I hear these people, talking the way they are when they come into the session, the way they are at the end. I almost want to say, do you hear what you're saying? Do you hear the difference in what you're saying? It's like a different person, the person that comes in, the person that leaves, there's been a change, a transformation. It's so amazing, I think, to be a MAP practitioner and witness that, whatever type of client or whatever type of problem you've chosen to work on, it is so wonderful. People thank me all the time at the end of sessions, and I say, no, it's not about me. I'm here to listen to you. I'm here as a guide. I'm here to offer some instructions. Your brain is healing itself. This is you. This is you. You've always had this capability. You just need a little help, and it's so nice to be able to offer people that, I feel like it's real help.
Yeah, truly. I totally resonate with, a lot of things that you said there. And we cannot change our situation, but we can change the way we choose to respond to it. But that may take a lot of inner work. And that's what MAP offers, is to help them just look within themselves and work through all those blocks and just bring out what is the true potential of themselves and how they can approach the situation from a different perspective. So and our role is just really like a guide. I always say it's like we're just holding this light and shining all the different paths. And the client gets to see, which is the path that I want to take? What are my possibilities? And it's very empowering. I think that's what makes MAP so powerful, is it's very empowering for the client, because they're in charge of their results, their change, and how they choose to respond. It's beautiful.
It is, yes. I really enjoy introducing people to this method, and I'm sure what little of that I've experienced, you've experienced so much more, being also an instructor and a supervisor in practice sessions, where you're seeing people develop their skill. That must be so amazing. I can remember when you supervised some of my sessions.
You were so good, yeah.
And I remember also you holding review sessions on certain key concepts in the MAP method, so that we could prepare for our certification exam. And that was very wonderful to have that resource as well. So thank you for that.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that we did not get to talk about that you wanted to express today?
Oh, I think we've talked a lot, and I really appreciate the opportunity. And I love that we are able to sort of just share about our experiences with MAP and how we support our clients. And it's just beautiful to hear all those transformational stories, how you're doing with your work and helping people in their health. That's just so important. Because a lot of times how we feel emotionally, that also affects our body and our health, and it's so important to work through all those emotional baggages as well.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Sofie, for taking the time to talk with me today. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you, Madeline. It's a pleasure too.
Thank you for joining us for the Flourish with Neural Retraining podcast. Please listen again, and remember to follow us and leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Play, or Stitcher. Check out our free courses about the MAP method, how it works, and how we use it for mind-body healing at mapforhealth.us, or schedule your introductory session at mindremapforhealth.com. Until Until the next time, be well and flourish. Content of this podcast, copyright 2023 by Twin Cities Neural Retraining. Music by Barbara Ben.